Alright, let's talk about law a little bit. About a few different things. About how law starts talking and speaking about that people who pass away. It doesn't actually say dead, die, or death. That's actually another part of law, which is strictly for that. Everyone kind of wonders why a grave robber gets in trouble for digging up a grave. Well, one, bodies here aren't allowed to be buried. When someone dies here, you find out where they are over in Europe, and you pretty much turn around and say, okay, when you unbury them, bring up the coffin, and you should never bury them, because if something goes wrong there, you might get in trouble. But the interesting part of it is it gets sent back to Europe, and Europe has to find out who they are and see if they are still around. When they find out if they're still around, then they gotta undo all that paperwork of dying, or passing, I should say. But anyway, if they don't, and you just bury them here, that undertaker gets in trouble. And when that undertaker gets in trouble, it's his responsibility not to call the United States, because it's not there. You can write United States on a piece of paper, but it won't stick. I'll tell you what I mean by it won't stick. It may be on a piece of paper, but if you take salt, you can easily erase ink from paper. Paper does not absorb ink. Simple. So anyway, let's get down to certain things. Imitators, extras, and everyone else. You can't take someone back to Europe and then realize they're in North Canada, and then turn around and say, oh, I screwed up, I sent them back over to North Canada. Technically, and I'm going to be real honest with you here, Canada, as it's referenced, North Canada, which used to be the old United States, not the old United States, the erased old United States, but where America was, and South America. Now, how a lot of this works is there's been a lot of skepticism about land versus water, and the fact of talking about to the people who were responsible for what was going on here, what was actually here and what actually wasn't here. Was there more land than water, or more water than land? Either which way, it's an island, regardless. And a piece of land has to be more than 500 miles wide by over 800 miles long, and it has to be, can't have rivers or anything. So a lot of the rivers would have to be dug in to the land to become, a stream, a river, rocks moved, stuff like that, to actually have a river. But that river would not be a natural river. As far as celebrities and groups of celebrities, if you're a foreign national, it's saying something about you. It's nothing big, it's nothing real great, but no celebrity is a foreign national. That's where Canada screwed up. As far as a lawyer, Canada likes to come down over the border into North Canada now, and to go to the courts and stuff. Canada knows it's in blatant violation of destroying people's relationships. That's not what courts are intended for. If you have a court in Canada, you would realize another thing. You're in blatant violation of law. So what happens when you're in blatant violation? Well, you get punished. Pretty simple. Someone said you can't speak or reference law. You can't sit there and tell a person outright that they're going to arrest you and turn around and say, I'm going to arrest you, put you in prison, and you're going to jail, when you ain't anyone. Now, granted, it does happen, but is it legal? I'll tell you how I know this. Like a brochure is to a person whom, actually I can't say a brochure, I believe it is brochure. Like a law book is to a person. Everything's been written down, everything's been agreed on, and since a lot of people say they've been here before, in the sense of living only, you can't re-agree, because it says right in the book, you can't re-agree to reassume that all law can be enforced by yourself, nor enforced by a militia, nor a military, but that of such, of people wanting good things. When I say good things, that would be the non-reference or reversion of what they think law is, or what would be good. As far as the BBL, has no historical, I won't say value, I said value last time, so delete, erase value. Has no historical reference of anything. It's just a made-up piece of paper. Made up. Totally. Stick a bunch of different things together. It's a made-up book because it has no historical value. Or delete, erase value. Proof. Prove it. Prove this guy died in this year and this time and this and everything. You won't be able to. Prove that to more people than that. But anyway, let's say someone got the bright idea, and Annie got a bright idea to move someone. Regardless, maybe she was hearing voices. But she moved someone. It's everyone's civic duty. Because a lot of you say citizens. Okay. A lot of you say citizens. I'm a citizen of the United States. Non-permanency, by that of temporary stay, is how the law reads. Okay, so now you know you're just a temporary person. Doesn't mean you ain't a whole person. It just means that you're not here to stay a whole generation. Now, you're going to say, I don't have any money. Okay, you go into Canada, and it says removal fees. Don't pay that fee, alright? That is a dead person's fee, alright? Anyone that gets charged that much money is normally they're removing a dead person. All it is the wages of the person. Some say they shouldn't have to pay that. Well, knowing from the way I set things up to now, there's a lot of differences. So if you have it on a bit of a different non-system, then I guess you'll learn something. But like everything I told you, you agreed on this before because you were here before. How can law change? Well, simple. You entrusted one person to change the law to the point that it would not benefit. It's not beneficial to that person. It's not beneficial to the citizen, the resident, the registry person. But it is beneficial in the sense that everyone can use it by non-use. And when I say non-use, I'm talking about the fact that everyone can actually, if it says that, for instance, that you're allowed to have a female as a girlfriend as long as she wants to stay, then yeah, you would be able to do that. Because in the end part of that law explains why the wording is the way it is. It's not a clause. It's a way for her and him to legally get out of the relationship, providing they do not have children. Now, if it's forced, okay? When I say forced, that means a group of males or a single male rapes, as they like to reference the word. I wouldn't say rape, because I mean I can take a rake and rape a girl, because that's normally what rape is. You take a rake and you rape a girl, okay? Females need to start learning one simple word that if you look it up under British terms, it speaks of being not unnecessary force. It's unwanted and certain things. So, well, smart ass is hanging around here. Anyway, I have it. If you read down my page a little bit more towards the bottom, you'll find out what law it is. I'm not going to sit here and say this is what the law is, because that's what they want me to do. Okay, they want me to screw up. But the law does state a female does have a say in whether or not a male can or cannot be with them, okay? But at the same time, if a female goes more than half her generation, or a male goes more than half their generation, and they pick no one, then you are within my jurisdiction, the jurisdiction. You're within my way of saying, I get to turn around and ask you why. Why haven't you picked someone by now to be with? Not marriage, not weddings. Marriage and weddings are actually illegal, and it states there that any form of conception in which ties or bonds a person to another person by that of an umbilical cord, or by that of such, is that a bodily fluid. Okay, so if you're swallowing what comes out of a penis, you're in trouble, because you need to get that out of your stomach now. And then you got to be able to prove you got it out of your stomach. But anyway, as far as a divorce is referenced totally different. It's not referenced in marriage or weddings, and it's not approved. Not as far as weddings, marriages, and stuff are not approved. If you sit down, write on a piece of paper that has all that little fancy wording and whatnot, I can legally hold you to it. And that is by the way people ignore their own ignorance and whatnot. It's not legal. Can I hold you to it? It is words though, now isn't it? Anyway, check out the next video.